Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the free to play. So, um, I'm actually streaming this right now as well, so you may hear some random shoot 'em Kevins whenever somebody becomes a member or subscribes, which will be hilarious because it's probably gonna startle me. But that was just a heads up for you guys. I'm gonna start streaming a little bit more. I'm streaming on YouTube now, so if you're watching this, you're probably already familiar with my channel. If you were to well, not like, but if you were to subscribe, you'll be able to get notified whenever I go live, and you can come hang out and ask questions. So this question was kind of something that just came up during the conversation with chat, and I was just theory crafting some stuff. But I was thinking about like, what am I gonna use Kael on anymore? Right? So Frozen Banshee is now 6 stars. She is skilled up, and I can master her in a couple seconds with gems. So she is ready to go and would be the direct replacement for Kael in my current clan boss team. If I was to I'm not prepared to make that move yet because I'm not convinced it would be a net positive for damage just yet. Theoretically, it would be. She lands a lot more poisons, the big version of poisons than Kael does, because he only lands them on his on a 4-turn cooldown. She lands them on her A1, and she brings poison sensitivity. Do I have a key? Can I test it? I have a key in 4 hours. Not testing it tonight. Rathalos is really good. And I have really good gear on Kael that isn't necessarily uh Kael centric gear. We have crit damage gloves with a little bit of crit rate, and then we're pulling crit rate throughout the rest of the kit. Now, one downside is I am lacking attack on some of these items. And it doesn't have to be a direct transfer of this gear over to Rathalos, but most likely this is the best gear on the account that could go on Rathalos other than what's currently on Sun Wukong, right? So Sun Wukong, 101% crit rate, 230% crit damage with 4,500 attack. One area that would suffer if I was to change Kael would be Arena. So we would need to ensure that Rathalos could make up for the damage loss of Kael in Arena. That's one factor. But I do think that he would do that. I think that while he's not booked, I still think his damage output is going to be similar to, if not better than, Kael in the same gear. And he AoE attacks in kind of a similar fashion, right? Kael has one AoE hit. He has one AoE hit, and then Kael has the quadruple hitter with random targets. You could equate that similarly to this attack, which every second use does an AoE. So there's some potential there to get value for Rathalos to kind of not be a loss in damage, if that makes sense, in Arena. So we'd be covered in Arena, and then for Clan Boss, I think Rathalos is. I still think Rathalos will be the answer, just not yet. Now, how far am I? I've got 2 chickens right now, and I probably have. I'm just gonna use Petrifia as food. Like, that whole argument of Petrifia is done. We've got Frozen Banshee. That problem is solved. So Petrifia can be food now, and then a bunch of these I need to clear this out and get a bunch of them leveled. Um, not on free to play. AoE multipliers. You're telling me Kael has a higher multiplier? Yeah, Kael may have a higher multiplier, but remember that the base stats are going to be much better for Rathalos. So if we look at a fully ascended Rathalos' base stats, 1487 attack, to Kael's 1200. So you're going to get more attack out of Rathalos. Plus, Rathalos also brings that crit damage buff too. Can't forget about that. Yep. Yep, exactly. So I think that's the play. But it all hinges on whether or not Frozen Banshee, which I think we all know the answer is yes, will be a significant improvement. That's a problem. That is a problem. Equipped. Primary stat of accuracy. That is a problem. Indeed it is. We don't have an accuracy banner for Frozen Banshee. My current clan boss team is... It's the same team I've been running for a while now. I'm not on the right account. Or right difficulty. So, Deacon, Ursula, Geomancer, Kael, and now Venomage. So Venomage replaced Sun Wukong so I could change his masteries to be PvP friendly, which improved his damage a lot. And has it was a slightly lower amount of damage, if I'm being honest. However, I think Rathalos. So there's two teams that I can run. Well, there's several different teams I can run. We have a Frozen Banshee Venomage team, a Geomancer Rathalos team, and there's one team that I was toying with that might actually be the best team, which was a Deacon, Ursula, UDK, Geomancer, Rathalos team. So that would give me optimum survivability. Either way, Frozen Banshee is better than Kael. Because of poison sensitivity, because we get more big version of the poison. He is built for attack too, though, so we would lose a lot of that direct damage, because I don't think Frozen Banshee hits that hard. I would love an ally protector, but I don't have an ally protector, and there's no guarantee that we would get one anytime soon. That's a big hole in the account right now. Morag is an option that I'm heavily considering as well because of her ally attack. It's just, I worry about the consistency of it, because we want Rathalos using his A1 as much as possible, not just for the decreased defense, more so because we also want to generate his skills. So then he gets the every fifth skill hits harder, right? So if we can get some of those on an ally attack or a counter attack, there's value there too. But this gear, if you look at this gear in the build, 101% crit rate, 197% crit damage with only 172 accuracy. We don't need accuracy on Rathalos, but this is a nuker type amount of damage. It's not really a debuffer type damage. And that's because I wanted him to hit hard in all areas of the game, in arena and on clan boss, get that extra damage on top of the poison damage that he brings. It's gonna. At the end of the day, the answer to the question is experimenting, but that is that's the direction that I'm probably gonna go on the account. Um, I want to try and see if I can. I, if you ask me, I think Rathalos Geomancer combo is going to hit harder. It just becomes a factor of who do you bring in or get rid of. So I could do something like this three with Rathalos and then Frozen Banshee by herself. This four with Rathalos, which brings more survivability, but Rathalos has to do a lot of work in that scenario. So, as far as damage that I'm currently doing on Clan Boss, I'm doing about 15 million a key. A little. Sometimes it's a little under. Sometimes it's a little bit more. So we're in that weird spot where we're kind of overkill on Ultra Nightmare. Because I always have like somewhere between like probably 5 to 7 million that I need to extra damage I need to do, and then I end up doing 15 million. And someone just pointed out in chat, Rathalos does get less. He does have that damage reduction as well. And Geomancer pretty much keeps the HP burn up all the time. Remember, this is what makes Geomancer so great, is it's not dependent on a critical hit. So it doesn't matter what affinity they are. Geomancer will always land his HP burn, other than the 6% chance that Clan Boss just outright resists something. If you don't know, that's a thing. Yeah, the Strengthen she brings more. Somebody mentioned Morag brings Strengthen, but so does Ursula on the same cooldown, while also bringing Increase Attack, which is something that I would lose by taking Ursula out of the composition. And Morag does not make up for that. She just brings the extra ally attacking. And then the counter attacks, which is good. Yeah, I get defense up and strengthen. But Morag would bring more damage output. If I can't improve my survivability beyond what it is, like let's say for instance I survive 15 turns, arbitrary number, just saying. Um, and no matter what I do, I can't, like, if bringing Morag, I still survive only 15 turns, but I get ally attacks and I get the other parts of her kit doing doing damage. That may be better for me overall. She's also defense based, which I didn't realize. So she could stay alive a lot better than some other champions that I have. So it's an option. It's an option that I could look into. I would keep the strengthen. I would lose the increased defense, but we would get ultimate Death Knight shields and his aura, so we'd be gaining some there. There's a lot of different things I want to try. We just got to figure it out, right? So that's probably something to do on a future stream. Yeah, Deacon Leech is the main form of healing that I have. That's why Ultimate Death Knight would be a big improvement if I could fit him in, because then we would get the continuous heals as well as the Deacon Leech. But Deacon's Leech has been doing just fine. I'm forgetting that I'm recording right now, but I'm already typing this. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of playing that I need to do, but Rathalos for sure is my next 6-star. Regardless, he is a better. I think he's going to accomplish at the very least what Kael is doing on the account. Yeah, so somebody's mentioning Deacon, Banshee, Rathalos, Geo, Ursula is one of the options I'm considering. I really like the combination of Venomage and Banshee though. So I don't know if that's going to be more overall damage or not. So it's, you know, uh, it's hard. It's really hard to say. I just have to test it. At the end of the day, I have to test it. The hardest part is that I want to test it when it's on Void, but my clan, they all destroy Nightmare Clan boss every morning before I have time to get on and test. So I'm gonna have to figure out a time to test. Either way, Rathalos is getting leveled up, gonna get ascended and built over Ray and Herndig for now. And then we'll go because I have enough magic. I actually really like the fact that he's a force affinity as well. We've got spirit covered, right? We have one force legendary, but not really a nuker. I'd like to have a nuker that's also force affinity to get me some balance. Geo and Wrath will be like 10 times more damage than Veno and Banshee. I think so too. I truly think so. So I just got to get on the grind. All right. I do want to talk about something else. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit away from the lessons, right? Like early on, I was teaching people about the game and saying, oh, do this, do that. This is a good champion. That's a good champion. Um, and I really want to kind of get back to that, answering questions. Um, well, I don't know. Magic. Yeah. Thank you. Good call, Pazerlex. Um, so but the thing is I don't know what you guys don't know, right? My old saying, I don't know what I don't or you don't know what you don't know. Um so if you guys have questions, let me know because I really want to get more information to you guys about kind of what to look for and what to do. I think it was in my Discord that I saw somebody asking about like people were asking for Iron Twins teams. So let's talk about Iron Twins a little bit. Iron Twins is tough. And I understand that's a very like generic saying, but it's true. Iron Twins is not meant to be an easy fight. And even if you try to do Iron Twins in the traditional way, you're going to have a hard time. So you need to have I don't know how much information they give in here. Yeah, they don't really give boss information, and I used my keys, so I can't give you boss information. But you're going to need to have a decreased speed. You're going to want to have decreased accuracy so that he can't put his debuff on you. There are good champions out there for it, but the reality is the best way to beat that boss is Geomancer. and then just building 4 support champions around Geomancer. It sounds lame. It is lame, but it works, and I can demonstrate it to you guys right now. In a couple seconds. Because it is a hard fight, and I just happen to be on my main account, and I don't think I've done my Iron Twins yet. So, but I think, let me also check on my time on this recording. I don't have anything keeping track of the time. Well, that's not ideal. Oh, there it is. No, I just couldn't see it because I have this pulled down. We're at 20 minutes. All right, we have time. Okay. Yay. Whoa, let's do that now before 110th floor on normal, because this is going to reset like any day now, right? Yeah, 2 days. 110th floor on normal. I need to knock that out before too late. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't need super raids. If I didn't do this right now, I'm going to forget. We put it on auto. This will be fine. So what the composition that I use is Geomancer with Pythion, UDK, Aox, who just makes it easier, and then Rector Drath. And basically the concept is I get as much damage reduction as I can and healing from Rector Drath, Pythion's passive, his little bit of healing, shields from UDK, and his defensive aura, which is boosted by a 4-star ascension or blessing. And then Aox extends the buffs, and we'll talk. You'll see here in a second. I realize we're looking at Doom Tower right now, but I did want. If I did not remember to do this, that I would absolutely forget and totally ruin things for my. I'd have to wait several days, if not weeks, to get that mission done. So I needed to do it before Doom Tower resets. All right, so this will be. I will be nice and not look at any other missions right now, because I want to show you guys this. So, Iron Twins Fortress. I can do this one on stage 15. It's not usually 100%, but I don't mind. I know it wastes energy, but I don't mind running it a couple times. So this is the team. I do want to talk about. Oh, that's right. I took. I put Ursula in for Rector Drath. Not Ursula. Mithrala in for Rector Drath. For extra shields. I'm thinking right now if there's anybody better on my team. So if we look at the champions that I'm using, so Mithrala does not have War Master. Ultimate Death Knight does not have War Master. Pythion does not have War Master. Aox does not have War Master. Geomancer can have it. I don't know if he does. No. So none of the champions have War Master, because I don't want him to proc. So why is Geomancer so good against Iron Twins? Geomancer doesn't proc Iron Twins passive. So we're going to put this on ×1. It always looks so slow. So every time I buff my team, that's why I brought her, for increased defense. I remember now. I forgot. I always forget she does that. So every time that I give buffs to my team, Iron Twins gets turn meter. And then he hits us. Geomancer reflects a large amount of that damage back and has a chance to War Master proc off of those hits. Those hits, you'll see he's chunking himself down. Those hits also don't trigger his passive, which is retaliatory launch, where he wipes all the debuffs off himself. Now, this only works when the HP burn is on. Right now, the HP burn is not on. That's where Aox comes in, because he can extend Geomancer's burn without bringing a ton of damage. The downside to bringing Mithrala is that he has a chance to extend Hex on accident. But for the most part, this works. If it falls off, Geomancer just reapplies it. But we're basically just trying to... This is not an original strategy of mine, by the way. But we're basically just trying to make him take as many turns as possible. Now, there is the possibility that things don't line up right, and sometimes he gets a retaliatory launch. And that's unfortunate, but it's going to happen sometimes. Mithrala probably is not the best choice, but I wanted the increased defense and the extra shields. She also gets him taking more turns. And you'll see, like, the HP burn got extended there. That's by Aox. We'll speed this back up. So he's chunking himself down. That attack doesn't hit as hard, so he didn't chunk himself down as much. See, those buffs got extended, but it wasn't the HP burn, so we need to cycle back around to it. And this is the problem. So, if Geomancer's burn isn't on, we have a chance of proccing him on accident. Because Geomancer doesn't get him over that threshold. When the... Yeah, see that... He got activated because Geomancer's stuff didn't put him over the threshold. We want Geomancer's stuff to put him over the threshold. Yeah. And so, like I said, this isn't a 100% team. It does fail from time to time. What would make it better? Better supports. If I had... the demon spawn chick. Help me out, chat. The demon spawn chick with really good heals and perfect veil. I'll figure it out. Give me a sec. And we're almost at 30 minutes too, but you're getting to see it in action a little bit more. The downside is that Mithrala brings too many buffs in this scenario. Or debuffs. I also need to turn off the A2 on UDK. Those poisons I don't want, because those have a chance of getting extended by Aox instead. So I need to pick somebody other than Mithrala, but the champion that I'm thinking of is Duchess. Yeah, Duchess. Thank you. If I had a Duchess, her passive would pair up well with Pythions and reduce a lot of the incoming damage overall. We still want to take incoming damage. If we used something like... You know who we should use? And maybe I'll toy around with that. Is... I can't remember his name again. I think I'm going to try Emic. He doesn't bring increased defense, though. But he does bring cooldown reduction. So even if the debuff falls off for Geomancer, he could just get it back on. And then he can redo the cooldown of everybody else as well. So we can just keep those buffs rolling. And he takes a lot more turn. Here's the problem with block damage. You don't get the reflect passive off of Geomancer with a block damage team. Because you don't take the damage, so you don't reflect it back. But unkillable, you take the damage still. Now, the thing is, he ignores unkillable, so it doesn't really matter. I think he ignores unkillable after 50%, which is the downside to that. But I'm mostly thinking Emic's shields would make the difference. And you see there he goes, he just kills himself. So that's the team. It's not 100%. Mithrala's not the right choice for it. I don't know of who else I have that brings increased defense. To the whole team. Kyoku's an interesting thought, but again, she does bring Ally Protect. What masteries? She doesn't have any masteries. I don't like that she brings... What if I did her in low accuracy? Like, really low Yeah. And she has a heal. Kyoku might be the answer. So you don't want to bring a burner, because you don't want that burn to override Geo's burn, right? Yeah, not the actual hit reflect, but the actual hit reflect is where you're getting the damage, because he hits so hard. Like really hard. If you look at all the buffs I have, and all the damage reduction I'm getting out of Pythion, and the shields, and he's still burning through that, the reflect matters. You can you can do a whole, like, block damage team. Like, I think Ash said that his original team for this dungeon was, like, he literally was the laziest team ever. He said it in a video. He put 5 block damage champions in there and just let them go. And he won. But I think Kyoku with no accuracy might be the answer. Because we have a chance to get increased defense if the boss crits. It's a very low chance that the boss crits, but it can happen. But the Ally Protect buff would be really, really good. Really, really good. And I could build her tanky as all get out. It also gives me a direction to go on this account, too. And she is defense-based. I just have to make sure I don't... Yeah, he said it takes forever, but it works. The Ally Protect is what Ally Protection would solve this. I think Kyoku is going to be the answer. She's also Spirit Affinity too, which is has been a bit of a affinities has been a bit of a problem for me on the account. I think I'm going to go Kyoku. It also, because I don't use her. I should use her, but I don't. Other than Faction Wars, I don't use Kyoku, so I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do that. I'll keep you guys updated on that team. But the point of this topic in this part of the video was for me to say that if you guys have questions, put them in the comments and let me answer your stuff. I can keep making videos, right? I can keep making videos where I come on to my relog in. Where I come into the free-to-play account, right? And I just give you an update on the account. But I started this account to teach people Raid Shadow Legends from a free-to-play perspective. And I want to be able to keep doing that. And I feel like I'm getting away from that. I'm not talking about teaching as much as I am how do I improve this account. But there's a lot of new players that are coming in here. and they're like, okay, well, cool, you have a Rathalos and a Geomancer, but what if I don't have those? Or, or people don't have Sun Wukong now. So, well, how do I get a good nuker in Arena if I don't have a Sun Wukong? Who should I use? Stuff like that, right? So I want to be able to answer these questions. But I am going to end this video because I want to get chat has been asking me a lot of stuff, and I want to answer their questions too. So post in the comments of this video. Let me know what you guys would like to hear about, what you guys want to know about. Are there champions you want to know about? Are there concepts you want to better understand? But I'm really excited to build that Kyoku on this account because that's going to be, I think, a huge boon for that that run. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to like and subscribe. We're at 667 subscribers last time I checked. We're close to our goal of 1,000. Once we hit 1,000, that's going to open up more like monetary value avenues for me, specifically ad revenue. So that's where I prefer. I don't really want to make, take your guys' money. I'd rather get advertiser money. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.